We're going to be talking about some astrology, some transits, and other things that's going to be going on in the universe when it comes to the synchronicities that we're all going to be experiencing at this current moment with the moon being in Virgo. So when it comes to the moon being in Virgo, this is going to be the emotional space that we're all going to be in. So we're all going to be in a space of reacting and responding to things that deals with our work, our health, our responsibilities, things that we do on a day-to-day basis, things that cater towards our routines and our obligations, and things of those natures. So that's going to be the world that we're going to be in, and those are going to be the energies that we're going to be gravitating towards to represent familiarity. So when it comes to the moon being in Virgo, and with this being mutable Earth, being mutable and changeable, when it comes to our own and other ways, other people's ways of thinking and being practical, this is going to be putting us in the space of having to think for ourselves and think for others, while still knowing how to apply ourselves with the environment when it comes to the things that we're working on, so we can be able to help ourselves and help others when it comes to things that deals with material, maternal security, stability, and those energies and things of those natures. Oh, so when it comes to the movement of Virgo, we're all going to be in that space of, reacting and responding to things that deals with our security, our stability, our safety, our shelter, our material, and our maternal energies. And we're all going to be gravitating more towards those energies because the moon is going to be making us more self-aware of these qualities and these natures. So when it comes to making sure that we're connected to things that deals with our responsibilities, make sure that we're connected to things that deals with, things that we do on a day-to-day basis, developing healthier routines and practices for ourselves and things of those natures, so we can have some form of order and structure and discipline when it comes to that sixth house area. So the sixth house represents, consistency, routines, pattern, your disciplines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, and things of those natures. And with it being Earth, we know that Earth represents safety, security. What we see outside of us, when we see the nature outside of us, we see safety. We can get safety, shelter from Earth, material, maternal energies from Earth, and things of those natures. So those are going to be the energies that we're all going to be a little bit more comfortable with, or trying to gain comfortability with, and making sure that we're going about this energy in the right way, so we won't end up planting bad seeds and then worrying about things that deals with our safety, security, shelter, and comfortability, and things of those natures. That if we have too many of those worrying thoughts and feelings on our mind, that's going to end up bidding in and becoming our blood, our fleshy fluids, and then that's going to end up, playing out through our organs in our body, and we may end up getting a sickness, or end up catching a cold, or end up getting a fucking migraine or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I got my goddamn ears. You know what I'm saying? Virgo never failed. It never. The energies live and direct. The energies be live and direct. But yeah, when it comes to the movement of Virgo, that's how things get. We all kind of get like a illness or a sickness or some shit whenever the moon was sliding to Virgo, like you get a migraine. Right there, I was just fine. Like a couple of seconds ago. Now I got a motherfucking shit going on. I can't even fucking I can breathe, but I can hear myself. I got fucking whatever that shit called. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it'd be weird. It'd be weird. We got to make sure that we are, understanding these energies and understanding how things are playing out in the universe, and understanding the synchronicities within the universe when it comes to, how the atmosphere is interacting, and how the atmosphere is how we're all connected and how we're all a part of this atmosphere. And it plays out how it plays out on the micro scale and the macro scale when it comes to our anatomy as well. So when it comes to the direction that the atmosphere is going, when it comes to us being in a water cycle that's rotating to the left, interacting with a water cycle that's rotating to the right, and both of those interactions collided, when it comes to those two high velocity objects colliding and producing that fusion, friction, and pressure, that sea level that creates that spectrum of mass, that we call the sun, and we see that being encapsulated and collapsing and becoming the clouds, and then we see how those play out, and we see how that play out in nature with that fluid condensing, becoming the waters below, evaporated, becoming the waters above, water interacting at different temperaments. Same way you can see, you could put you could put some hot water, you could put some hot water on the stove and see how that's playing out. That's the same thing that's going on when it comes to when we go outside and look around us, when we go outside and look at the sun. Fusion, friction, pressure, evaporation, precipitation, and things of those natures. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what's going on. So through times and times of water cycles and encapsulation of those energies, we get what we can classify as sea levels, rivers, river falls, waterfalls, and things of those natures. You know what I'm saying? So we got to kind of understand the natural order and mechanism of life, because that is the natural order and mechanism of life. And when it comes to, we are the spirits that's separated from spirit all in order to experience our own solo piece of that. So we created a awareness, a halo around ourselves. It became aware. That's the other spirits that became aware. We all wanted to experience our own subjectivity. And by default, as the spirits in our own subjectivity, created that, what was objective. Masculine, feminine. We're just experiencing both sides of our minds. The masculine external side and the feminine internal side. So we're creating these things as within, so without. When it comes to us becoming aware and falling from grace. Falling. You know what I'm saying? Spirits in the West, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So we're all fallen angels. We're all angels. We may just not know that we're angels, but at the end of the day, when it comes to understanding what's going on, we all fallen angels. So we just got to make sure that we understand our angelic nature and not get so lost into our demonic demiurges and things of those natures, and start to create more hells for ourselves, when we can really be on the process of creation, mutation, and evolving what we have already made and create something else that's less in density, as long as we know about astronomy, astrology, and anatomy, and understanding how these things are working in correspondences, and understanding the synchronicities between these things, so we can be able to understand and be intelligent on how we created this at first. And then once we go through that birth, life, and death, and we already know about how the universe and the mechanisms of the universe are, that'll be us expanding our awareness, becoming more aware of the information, the light that we was already previewed to. So with that expanded awareness, we're able to utilize that substance and that material to create a more broader awareness. So that more broader awareness will be playing out lighter in weight, but we'll still have those same abilities. It'll be like this, but will be more expanded. The organ that we create that's going to be out of that water is going to play out more atmospherical. So this is what we're training to become. We're training to become angels and atmospheres, so we can get back to that position, and then we can make the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension look like the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, and the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension look like the 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension, because we have all grown up when it comes to us becoming aware for the first time, birth, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension. So when it comes to how we're in a human body right now, and how we look at fishes, being in a lily pond, you could take a fish out the water, but that fish still is going to be, that fish consciousness is still going to think that it's in the water swimming with this group. So this is how humans is going to be. This is how we're going to be looking at humans. So you're going to be consciously aware of all the substance and the materials that's utilized to create a human being, because you're going to be that being that's just going to be in that space, aware of all those different, all aware of more expanded things around you and being in a space with the same spirits that already took those travels. I think it's those natures. So you gotta kind of understand what's going on when it comes to, knowing about yourself, because we all doing this. And then the spirit races that come after you, they'll be able to hop into those portals, climb that DNA ladder scale that we created, so they can be able to experience that. And next thing you know, we got a whole new world that doesn't have to deal with, having two left feet and being stuck inside a human vessel with a human body, and things of those natures. So just understanding what's going on, understanding, how this is the new this is the new shift that's going on. This is the new shift that's taking place. So we got to make sure that we're understanding more about ourselves, and not getting lost into any distraction, not getting lost into any delusion, not getting lost into any confusion, and things of those natures. But it's gonna take individuals to take self-accountability and actually be willing to learn about themselves and get out of the distractions, because humans are so distracted and love to their devices right now. Like, y'all just easily manipulated. Y'all just easily open to get taken advantage over by individuals that knows how to utilize the energies above, that know how to do these things to y'all on a more spiritual, mental level by controlling y'all mind. So that's really what's going on. Y'all getting y'all mind controlled by individuals that know about astrology, astronomy, and leave y'all left to y'all devices to get hand-me-down, second-hand knowledge and don't really know what's going on in the universe. So it's all like crazy. And they keep y'all in these docile states. They keep y'all in these docile positions without knowing what's really going on, and lacking the ability to become aware, lacking the ability to expand your mind, lacking the ability to actually put yourself in a space where you're operating more in your higher natures. Instead, they got you doing things for your flesh. They got you doing things to please the flesh, doing things that's gonna put you more in a cycle of organ implosions and things of those natures. So I gotta kind of understand what's going on when it comes to learning about yourself and just learning education in general. But yeah, we're all going to be going through these energies, and we got to kind of look at the things that we need to be separated from. And we also got to kind of look at the things that we need to be applying to our spaceship, so we can be strong enough, so we can be durable enough to be able to withstand these astral travels, withstand these currents and things of those natures. So with this grand mutable square that's going to be taking place in the sky, we're all going to be going through this transition of being confused and being all over the place when it comes to what do we need to be connected to, what do we need to be applying to our life, what do we need to be separated from. And this is going to be getting, all these energies is going to be getting filtered through the sun being in Scorpio. So with all these energies getting filtered through the sun being in Scorpio, this is going to be us looking at things that we have been deeply connected to, the people, places, and things that we have been deeply connected to, that we share common interests with. Have we been building relationships that deals with us trying to be a little bit more productive, conduct ourselves in a more sophisticated way? Or have we just been building relationships solely based on desires, shadow government templates, not really having a common interest, not really having a purpose, and things of those natures? And now, with the sun being in Scorpio, we're all going to be going into the depths, coming off the sun in Libra. We're all going to be going into the depths of our individuality. We're all going to be looking at ourselves and looking at ourselves in the hall of mirrors to see and look at the qualities that we may have that's negative, that we don't need to be expressing or bringing to the day of light, because those things may get reciprocated negligently, especially if we don't be developing healthier practices and disciplines and putting these energies in more productive spaces. You may end up stinging yourself or stinging other individuals and things of those natures. So you got to kind of understand those energies as well when it comes to you expressing yourself and understanding the principles and the virtues that Scorpio carry. So you can be able to be emotionally connected to the right things, things that deal with your business, things that deal with your passions. So you won't be looking like you're a type of individual that has some form of secret agendas or alternative motives. But you may have the aura around you because you're so self-invested into your passions, your business, and things of those natures, and you don't really open yourself up. You don't really open yourself up to individuals because you're already aware of these intuitive spaces and how individuals' psyches are and the types of individuals that's in a room. Because with you being a Scorpio, you're already in the space of knowing how to read the room on a subconscious level. So you should know who to open yourself up to and who not to open yourself up to. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to understanding these spaces and understanding different energies and different energy vibrations that individuals be in. So if you're not understanding different energy vibrations that individuals be in, and you're just opening yourself up, being vulnerable with the sun being in Scorpio, you may end up getting taken advantage over. Or if you being too goofy, or being too much into like, if you being too goofy, being too open, being too free with the sun being in Scorpio, feel like you could just share all of your gifts and your talents and just show your hand, cast all your pearls amongst swine, you're gonna feel drained. You're gonna get drunk. Those individuals are gonna be drinking you from your esoteric blood, your imagination, your creative gifts and talents, and things of those natures. So you got to be careful and make sure that you're not just opening yourself up to any old individual and being lost into the world in search for validation and things of those natures. You should put yourself more into a space where you know how to validate yourself, and let that be your fuel. Let that be your gas that your spaceship need to go the distance. Instead of you needing validation from other individuals to get up and get off your ass and, carry out God duties and responsibilities and things of those natures. So you got to keep that in mind as well when it comes to understanding your energies and understanding what's going on, so you won't be in this space of procrastination. And what the sun being in Scorpio, it's ruled by Mars, and Mars is in Cancer. So these are going to be the internal travels that we're going to be going through when it comes to us having to get up and get off our ass and actually put some work in. And when it comes to whatever creative gift or talent that we have, actually start to carve out the right circumstances and situations so that we can express those things and things of those natures, so we can start to attract and accumulate the right people, places, and things that we need in our life to make us feel comfortable with expressing those things, and they can put us in a good position when it comes to us taking power and control over our emotions and our feelings, not getting washed up under the current, not letting these things bring us down where we feel insecure, where we're doubting our creative gifts and our talents and our passions and our motivations and our goals. We end up utilizing that same energy that we may have been lost into as a cocoon to encourage us to get out of that small cocoon, to get out of that small world and become a butterfly. And now we have a testimony, and we can utilize that testimony to be able to go the distance when it comes to whatever dream, imagination, and fantasy you got. So don't let your vulnerabilities beat you up. Don't let your insecurities beat you up. Don't let your emotions and your feelings beat you up during these times, because these energies are gonna make you feel down about yourself. These energies is going to be affecting all of us. These energies are going to be affecting all of our psyches. So we may have these creative gifts and talents, but we may not just have the internal courage or motivation to get up and do these things. So that's where Mars is going to be getting help at. Mars is going to be getting help by Scorpio, the sun. And Mars is the sun, the positor. So when it comes to, making sure that we're putting ourselves in a space where we're open and free, or when it comes to the things that we're doing behind closed doors, mainly because Scorpio deals with the 8th house. What are you doing behind closed doors? So whatever you're doing behind closed doors, that's going to reflect on what others see from you when you start to present yourself to the world. So you got to make sure when you're behind closed doors, you're building that esoteric muscle. You're building courage. You know what I'm saying? So that once you step out into the real world, you have this aura around you that plays like a shield that nobody will be able to affect you when it comes to, they may be lost into their feelings and their emotions. They may not be doing anything behind closed doors. They may be unproductive citizens. They may be unproductive people in their life. So behind closed doors, they're just eating bullshit, eating things that deals with negativity, eating things that deals with gossip, eating things that deals with drama, developing and accumulating more toxic energy. So when it comes to them expressing themselves and coming out and stepping and interacting with everybody else, they may not have a sufficient way of being able to conduct themselves and relate to other individuals that can make other people feel free make other people feel comfortable around them, because the aura that they created for themselves behind closed doors, maybe because they was in a negative space, procrastinated in that negative space, wasn't really doing nothing productive with their energies and things of those natures. So we got to make sure that we're not the ones being in those energies, so we can start to express ourselves when it comes to the sun being a Scorpio. And we're going to be having a lot of gifts and opportunities that the sun in Scorpio is going to be creating for us. So we got to make sure that we take advantage and capitalize over these energies, and not let our emotions and our feelings and these insecurities drag us down to make us feel incapable about our creative gifts and talents and things that we know that we're fully aware of, capable of, and things of those natures when it comes to understanding these energies. So with the sun being a Scorpio, all these energies, when you're going back, tracking back to this grand mutable square between the moon being in Virgo, Venus being in Sagittarius, Saturn being in Pisces, and Jupiter being in Gemini. All these energies is going to be getting filtered through the sun being in Scorpio, or solar plexus. So that's how it really plays out when it comes to, if you want to understand your if you want to understand your personal chart, and how your personal chart is aligned, and how all your energies, when it comes to your sun through Pluto all the way to your north node, how these energies are expressed through your individuality, your solar plexus, and things of those natures. And understanding how to conduct all these energies, understanding your chakras, understanding your saffirats, knowing how to align your saffirats, knowing how to align yourself as above, so below, macro, micro, with the universe. Once you really build that muscle, build that awareness, build that mind, and you're able to utilize that mind as a spaceship, as a tool. So it's kind of like, it'll become like second nature to you. It won't be something that you got to think so hard about. It won't be something that you have to be so logical and so harsh on yourself about, because you will see that you're doing these things already. You basically are already doing these things when it comes to you just expressing yourself. So you got to kind of understand those energies, and you won't be a type of individual that need to do like a whole bunch of rituals and spells, practices, brotherhoods, and things of those natures just to understand yourself and understand how, getting it really goes beyond astrology when we're talking about spirituality. So, astrology is just a tool that we created to experience ourselves and these worlds and these realms of realities. But just being a spirit in general, you know what I'm saying? It really goes beyond your sun, your moon, your ascendant, stars, all these things. It goes beyond all of that. Because the next bodies that we're getting ready to take ain't got nothing to do with none of these things. You know what I'm saying? So I got to keep that in mind as well when it comes to all of us evolving to become more angelic type of beings. So those are going to be the new shapes and forms and vessels that we're going to be taking. And then humans are still going to be taking these vehicles that deals with them having to learn astrology and things of those natures. So it's just you knowing about yourself, you knowing about the world around you, and you kind of understanding how these things was made and things of those natures. So you won't get so lost into the spookism. You won't get so lost into individuals trying to utilize it to pander, individuals trying to utilize it to make some money. You could just go outside and be like, damn, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would just get to the point where you're looking like, okay, it is what it is. We on Earth right now. We got all these tools. We got all these chakras that bit in and create our organs and things of those natures. Even when you look at animals and things of those natures, you can kind of, you got to get real deep into it. Like, the better that you're able to build that awareness, build that muscle, you can kind of look at animals and see that they're doing the same thing that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We got to eat, sleep, and fuck. They got to eat, sleep, and fuck. That eat, sleep, and fucking deals with our root chakra. You know what I'm saying? So they may just be, real say, they may just be in their root chakra right now, aligning themselves. You know what I'm saying? Just like, it gets deep. But yeah, you gotta kind of understand what's going on. Like, the better that you're able to build that awareness for yourself, the easier it'll be. And then next thing you know, you gonna forget about, like, damn. Like, you'll just forget about, like, all the things that's going on, because your head will be in the clouds. You'll just be flying around all over the place, you know what I'm saying? You'll never land, for real. But yeah, but when it comes to, this grand mutable square is gonna be having all of us confused when it comes to the things that we need to be attaching and applying to our life, when it comes to our habits and things of those natures. Because we may have been emotionally invested into the wrong people, places, and things that may have been putting us in the space of developing bad habits or developing alternative motives. And right now, all these energies that's going to be playing out around us is going to be showing us that we got to get out of that energy. We got to get out of that cycle before we create more problems for ourselves, thinking that we're making things better. So if we're not understanding these energies and taking heed and putting in importance on these energies and these signs that the universe has been giving us, when it comes to the individuals, people, places, and things that we are mixing and mingling our energies with, even when it comes to our jobs and our businesses, if we're not putting these things in a more healthier routine, then these energies may backfire and end up transforming us. So when it comes to the sun being in Scorpio, we got to make sure that we're the ones transforming, utilizing the co-ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, and being the ones transforming these energies instead of being the ones that's getting transformed by these energies. So when it comes to this mutable grand square, with the moon that's going to be playing out through our heart chakra, the things that we need to be emotionally connected to, the things that makes us feel comfortable, the things that put us in fight or flight mode, the world that we're going to be in, the rainbow waters that we're going to be reacting and responding to. You know, with the moon being in Virgo, we're all need to be putting ourselves in a more healthier space when it comes to the things that we are emotionally connected and investing ourselves into. Deals more with things that deals with our work, our health, our routines, our patterns. But we may get hit by frustrations because it's going to be squaring off with Venus. And with Venus being in Sagittarius, things that deals with our love, the things that we love, the things that we appreciate, our possessions, things that deals with, you know, those types of energies. We're going to be getting squared up with those energies. So this learning process that we're going to have to kind of learn how to conduct in a more sophisticated way when it comes to the better that we understand how to take these energies and actually learn from these energies and apply it to the things that we need to be, you know, investing ourselves into, so that we can be the example on how to go about that energy. When it comes to the things that we love, appreciate, and value, we got to make sure when it comes to the things that we love that we're not being too open or being too free with these energies, because they can lead us in taking advantage over. And if we're not, you know, taking responsibility or actually putting these energies when it comes to the things that we love, the things that we may have accumulated, the things that deals with our possessions, you know, things that deals with, you know, all those Venus types of energies. If we're not taking these energies a little bit more serious, if we're not actually setting those disciplines around these energies, then the same things that we love, appreciate, and value will end up being the same things that destroy us. So, because keep in mind that, you know, Sagittarius is just like another name for that water cycle for Jupiter. So with Venus being in Sagittarius, that water cycle Jupiter, that once we be able to see the mathematics and the properties of Jupiter and what Jupiter puts us through, it goes two ways when we're talking about Jupiter. So Jupiter is either going to expand or escape. Well, no matter what it's going to do, Jupiter's going to expand. Jupiter's going to expand negatively or positively. So it's two ways that you can go about this energy. When it comes to the things that you love, appreciate, and value, making sure that you're doing things in moderation, applying that Virgo discipline qualities to the things that you love, appreciate, and value, even if it frustrates you, knowing that you got to take self-accountability and do these things so that you can put yourself in a space where you're expanding, but it's more positive expansion instead of negative expansions that's going to lead into you worrying and stressing, being in that low vibrational space, developing more and more thoughts and feelings that bends in and condense and become your blood, your fleshy fluids. Now you got organ illnesses. Now you got a big ass migraine. Now it's affecting your responsibilities. Now it's affecting your work, your health, your routines. So we got to make sure that the things that we are indulging into and the things that we do love, appreciate, and value don't end up blocking us from actually being able to take care of our responsibilities and do things on a day-to-day task. I think it's those natures. So, you know, we're all going to be in a space I want us to be a little bit more free when it comes to the things that we love, appreciate, and value, and the things that we're willing to compromise with, things that deals with those Jupiterian type of energies that we can end up expanding on. And if we go about this energy in the right way, planting the right seeds and watering the right seeds, watering the right ideas, seeds, visions, water, emotions, giving those visions, those seeds, the right nourishment, so that these things can grow, expand. We may end up expanding out of the current circumstance or situation that we may be in that may be making us frustrated when it comes to our jobs, circumstances, and situations, the position that we may be in, if we go about this energy in the right way. But it's a square. So, got to keep that in mind as well. So we just can't be lost into no desires, thinking that, oh, because we're not getting these things in a timely fashion, that means we may not be doing something right, or the universe isn't working for us, and the universe is working against us. That's us developing a bias for ourselves. We don't want to put ourselves in any form of a bias, because the universe ain't gonna work for you or against you. It's always working through you. So just making sure that you're learning what you need to be applying when it comes to the things that you're working on, things that deal with your responsibilities, things that deal with your health, things that deal with, all those Virgo type of energies. That's its house. And making sure that you're catering towards these energies and putting these things in a more healthier space. So when it comes to, it won't be affecting the things that you love, appreciate, and value, because you've been placing too much meaning and reason on the wrong things, wrong people, places, and things that you've been loving, appreciating, and valuing. Even when it comes down to your family, friends, jobs, and associations, and things of those natures, or energies that you may have to deal with within yourself internally, qualities that you may have within yourself. You may have negative qualities that you may be so lost into your own world, lost into your own darkness, lost into your own thoughts and feelings, that you're not able to see what others see. Mutable fire, seeing and feeling what others see around you, because we all have the ability to see something in somebody else that they may not be able to see within themselves. So you got to make sure that you're not being foolish and not taking that advice from other individuals as well, because it's all about learning. We're all going to be in a space of learning, but it's about what we're learning. Do we have the right individuals around us that's going to give us that advice that we need, that's going to give us that direction, and things of those natures? So we got to make sure that we do have the right individuals, and if we are the individual that has a little bit of wisdom, we be able to point individuals in the right direction. So because once you become like a spiritual adult in the spirit realm, you'll be able to see the trains and thoughts and lines of reasonings that individuals may be on that may play out negatively if they continuously cater towards that desire. So you can be the spiritual adult to give that individual a right piece of information and wisdom, so that they can be able to change course, change direction, so they won't be going down that path that leads them to a shadow priest. Next thing you know, that individual, everything that individual has been accumulating, end up failing or falling short. So they got to keep that in mind as well. So sometimes, conversations can be healthy conversations, healthy criticism, healthy advice that can be beneficial when it comes to helping other individuals out, when it comes to the things that they may be lost into, that they need to take care of. Sometimes you got to cuss them. Sometimes you got to cuss people out. Like, hey man, get your ass up, go. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass up, go make that music. Get your ass up, go do that art. Get your ass up, go. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to be like that. That's doing it for God. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you just criticizing people, just hating on people, developing hate and things of those natures. So I got to keep that in mind as well when understanding these energies. So we're all going to be going through these energies internally. We're all going to be going through these intuitive spaces. So, and it's going to be helpful. It's going to be like, once we understand that energy, once we understand how to get with a program on that energy, and then we'll be able to see how that energy is playing out when it comes to, Saturn being a Pisces, how we see reality. So when it comes to the way that we're going about reality, we're all seeing reality through the filtering system of our dreams, our imaginations, and our fantasies. So by all of us seeing reality through the filtering system of our dreams, imaginations, and fantasies, we still got to make sure that we're taking care of the moon energies, what we're nurturing, what we're emotionally connected to, Venus energies, the things that we love, appreciate, and value, so that we'll be able to create some form of balance when it comes to Saturn. So we can start to expand on the right things. So we won't end up expanding on negative, toxic things that deals with distractions, things that deals with delusions, things that deals with setbacks, things that deals with us feeling insecure or developing more insecurities, or putting ourselves in some victimizing energy because we may be emotionally connected to the wrong people, places, and things that don't got nothing to do with our dreams, imaginations, and fantasies, and things that we're paying attention to online as well. We may have the wrong, we may be placing our faith, belief, and imaginations into the wrong things, that not knowing that that's our spiritual power. Those that's our magic, our faith, our belief, and our imagination. That's our magic, and whatever we push out into the universe, we always get that in return. So if you're not pushing out good, healthy thoughts and feelings out into the universe, you're gonna be getting bullshit that's gonna be coming back, biting you in the ass. And if you're not taking self accountability for that energy, trying to sweep it up under the rug, you're gonna end up developing ghosts that's gonna be following you everywhere you go, and that's gonna play out like baggage. So if even if opportunity do open up for you, something weird may happen because you got these ghosts, you got this aura around you that you got carrying with you in that backpack that's too heavy, that's gonna be preventing you from being able to walk through that stargate and that portal, so that you can be able to experience something more fruitful in your life, at things of those natures. So we gotta make sure that we are taking care of things that deals with, past people, places, things, circumstances, relationships, habits that we may have been investing into. Make sure that we're not letting these things be the same things that block us from being able to walk through that stargate, walk through that portal, so we can put ourselves in a more healthier position when it comes to Saturn, that can help us be able to gain some type of security, stability, safety, and shelter and structure in our life. You know what I'm saying? So this year is going to be going two ways. You either going to be, you know what I'm saying, you either going to be going about these energies in a more healthier way, or you're going to be, these energies is going to be the same energies that's going to be taking, creating tower moments for you in your life, and things of those nature. So you got to make sure that you the one who's, utilizing these, you the one who utilizing these energies and things of those natures. Gotta understand what's going on in the world. The better that you understand how to utilize these energies, the better you'll understand how to align yourself and synchronicities in the universe and things of those natures. So this all gonna be, what are you attaching to? Are you really going back to that esoteric drawing board to see and look at what you need to be attaching yourself to, what you need to be applying yourself to, or what you need to be separating from in your life? So all these energies is going to be popping back up in our mind right now, and it's going to be getting the central focus. It's going to be the sun, our deep passions, motivations, goals, and desires, and what have you been doing behind closed doors, and things of those natures. So you're just going to make sure that the things that you are catering to behind closed doors deals with, things that you won't feel vulnerable once you start to express these things externally, and making sure that you're developing the right energies behind closed doors, so that once you do come out and start to participate with other individuals, you'll have some form of sophistication to yourself when it comes to you developing that character, that creature, that six-dimensional energy, that becoming your personification, your persons. You act out that mannerism and things of those natures. So you aligning yourself with the universe. You aligning yourself with all. So this will be you becoming a powerful spirit that all possibilities will be able to utilize you as a vessel at things of those natures. So we got to make sure that we're getting out of those energies of victimizing ourselves and victimhood at things of those natures, so we can put ourselves in a more healthier space, so that we can start to plant seeds into things that we need to be planting seeds into, and connecting to the individuals that we need to be connected to. Or if you're not even connected to nobody at all, connected to whatever charismatic gift and talent that you got, because we are dealing with fixated water. So fixated water deals more with being fixated on its own way of going about its emotions and feelings, not so much as others' emotions and feelings, its own way. So we gotta make sure that we're putting ourselves in a space where we're connecting more to, things that makes us feel comfortable, regardless how other people may feel about it, and not be so much in search for validation at things of those natures. So we can kind of fuel ourselves. We can utilize our failures, insecurities, accomplishments to fuel us, fuel up our spaceship, so we can go the distance. And then we'll end up getting respected for that, instead of putting ourselves in a space where we're just looking for validation, doing anything to get liked. And it's not about being liked down here, because it's like a whole bunch of narcissistic people still lost into their ego in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. So I got to keep that in mind as well. So even if you have to be mean to an individual, even if you have to cut individuals off, you know what I'm saying? Right now is the time to do it. Scorpio season. And don't be feeling like you need to go back to these people, places, and things, especially if they did you wrong, especially if they did you dirty, especially if you was picking up those energies from those individuals that they didn't have their best intentions on their mind about you. You don't need to be going back to those individuals. Those individuals can stay in that cycle, in that space themselves, while you in a more healthier cycle in your life, seeing new things, looking around you, seeing different things that cater towards your purpose and whatever purpose that you're trying to develop and build for yourself. And things of those natures. So you got to keep that in mind as well when it comes to understanding these energies. So, and you know, last alignment that's going to be completing this grand mutable square that's going to be having all of us confused, that's going to be playing out through our experiences when it comes to Jupiter being in Gemini. So Jupiter in Gemini is going to be playing out through what have we been learning, what have we been absorbing when it comes to the knowledge and the information that's been presented online. Have you been around the right individuals? Are you in the right environment? Are you in the right space in your life? Do you know about astrology and astronomy? Do you know how to create your own reality? Do you know how to create your own circumstances and situations and go outside and learn about these things yourself and build that mental muscle, that mental awareness, that mental muscle, that awareness yourself, so you can be the creator that's behind the scenes, utilizing these energies to work magic, you know what I'm saying, utilizing your magic to create? Or are you in the space of feed me, I need liberation, just being absorbed, getting abducted by everything that you see online that the shadow government crafted up so that you can be in a reprobate position at things of those natures? Or are you becoming the intellectual one and stating your claim, having some intellectual property in the esoteric realm so that nobody can take over your mind, nobody can hijack your mind, because you built your own mind, you know what I'm saying? You went outside, you understood these things for yourself, so you built your mind. You didn't have to go to school, pay for a mind, just to be indoctrinated, just to see that, just to get debunked by individuals like me online, because whatever, you know, doctrine that you're in, whatever religion, whatever scholarship that you're in don't make a sense. So you just a sheep, you know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of understand what's going on when it comes to understanding our experiences and how these energies, how we've been kind of, you know, how these are the same templates that individuals have been creating when it comes to the Masons and the Jews and the Jesuits clicking up, coming together, creating this world. So we build a world being Egyptian slaves and things of those natures. So even if you got, you know, even if you're in the industry, even if you know, make music in the industry, you making all this money, you still a puppet at the end of the day. So you got to keep that in mind as well. So right now it's time for us to cultivate our own industries, cultivate our own entertainment, cultivate our own business, entertainment, religion, politics, and education systems and things of those natures. Because the way that we go about it, each one teach one, teamwork makes the dream work. We're doing it for God. And next thing you know, we're the ones getting all the attention. We're the ones getting all the likes. And now we got a whole new world that we're all participating in, that we're all, you know, being able to be ourselves and not have to feel like we got so much peer pressure because individuals don't know how to be themselves. Like nobody knows how to be themselves. Nobody knows how to integrate new things down here and things of those natures. So it gets real crazy. Like everybody's followers, blind leading the blind, letting the dead bury the dead type of energy. So those are the energies that we gotta get out of. Because spirits that's still on that cycle is only leading to organ implosion and reincarnation back into these same hellish routines and patterns. So we got to make sure that we're becoming aware of different things, even if we get looked at as being weird. We're becoming aware of different aspects about ourselves, different aspects about our mind, so we can be the intellectual ones who actually be able to see that these things aren't us and knowing how to fashion these things and make these things and change these things at will whenever we want to. And things of those natures. So, you know, that'd be us tapping more into our higher natures and being able to utilize our higher natures and not get so lost into our lower animalistic natures, becoming creatures, becoming beasts, and getting led to our desires by these things, to our demise by these things, because we'll be lost into these things, because the shadow government, because the individuals like that is going to utilize these things to put us, create some weird stipulation to make us do things, go protest, go riot, you know what I'm saying, play with the world, you know what I'm saying, as the world turns, play with our food, our resources, the things of those natures, just because they want to exercise their power. And things of those natures, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what's going on. That's all that's really going on in the world. Individuals trying to exercise their power because they, family, lineage, things of those natures are the ones who authored in this colonization of the Western Hemisphere, or however that plays out. And things of those natures. And they got people in witchcraft and spells to keep them blinded, keep them rocked to sleep, keep them asleep to what's going on. So they sleep up there, but they woke down here, lost to everything that's around them. And this is those natures. So it's weird, and it's mental manipulation that's going on in this world as well. So they got to keep that in mind as well. So when it comes to you, whatever your place and meanings and reasons behind, you got to make sure that you become aware yourself. Make sure that you understand these energies and how to go outside and, you know, learn astrology, astronomy, and anatomy yourself, so you can start to be an asset to your community. Because it's going to be a lot of things that's going to be going on when it comes to communities and things of those natures. A lot of racism, a lot of segregation, a lot of racism, and things of those natures are going to be popping back up. As soon as, you know, Uranus goes into Gemini, we're going to see that those things was never really went away. They just found a more convenient way of going about it. Still racism, even when it comes to, you know, you being from a specific ethnic group, you being from a specific group, you being Indian, you being Native American, these individuals are gonna look at you like you a threat. Even if you just speaking your mind, speaking your piece online, just being yourself online, they're gonna do whatever in their power to make sure that you get shadow banned, make sure that you never be able to see the day of light, make sure that you never be able to get into a successful position and stop your water. It's crazy. It's racism. So we're going to be seeing a lot of those energies roll out. Well, it's already been here. It really never went nowhere. It just came up with a more convenient way of doing it. A more convenient way of being racist. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind as well. When it comes to understanding these energies, understanding how these energies are being played out, utilizing Jupiter magic squares and things of those natures, how we going to be seeing these things being ushered in, how we're going to be seeing these things being presented online. Right now, we're just getting the reminiscence of it. But as soon as Uranus goes direct into Gemini, it's going to be like a whole different type of racist ass world that we're going to be in. And everything is going to be coming to the surface, you know what I'm saying? So just already basically prepare yourself. Don't get lost into nothing. Don't get lost into none of these color boxes. Don't get lost into none of these toys. Don't get lost into nothing. Don't get lost into none of these gender wars, being a gym or being a better male, because that's just lostness at the end of the day. So you got to make sure that you're the one, you got to make sure that you're not the one being lost. You know what I'm saying? Getting misled, acting out of your desires. Because the same spirits that get lost into those energies is going to be the same spirits that's going to be repeating this cycle and having to learn again. And then they may not even have, you know, angels and things like that, individuals like me, to be able to come back to help them to get them out of these cycles so they can be able to experience something new. Because they're going to think they're right. You know what I'm saying? Men and women perishing for the lack of knowledge. Because they don't want knowledge. Because knowledge is the currency. Knowledge is your power. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge, as cliche as it sounds, knowledge is the actual currency, and knowledge is your actual power for real. Intellect is your actual power for real. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta keep that in mind as well. When it comes to understanding and learning about yourself, y'all gotta make sure that y'all know and not just be, you know, in search. You gotta go to that space of just knowing. Because I ain't gonna be teaching you nothing. We ain't teaching each other nothing. We're just reminding ourselves of what we already been doing. So other people just try to utilize it to inflate, you know what I'm saying? Try to inflate things, you know what I'm saying? Over exaggerate about things. When, you know, y'all been doing this ever since before we was even in physical bodies. But we was just in mental bodies. We've been doing the same things. So we just gotta come up with a more healthier, more better way of going about it. So once we get back to that space where we're all sharing that type of world, where we're more into, you know, the mental bodies, we won't create another hell that look like this. needing rulership, needing government, needing authority, and things of those natures. At that point, get the fuck away from God, because like we not learning. That's a spiritual race. We ain't gonna be able to, get to the next level. We stuck in that cycle for another eons or however fucking long, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have no help then, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have no grace, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have grace, but it's gonna get to a point, like, you're gonna get to that point. If you know what I'm saying? You'll get to that point, like, damn. Y'all get to that position, you know what I'm saying? You should start saying, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you gotta kind of understand, like, we gotta make sure that we don't create another world that like this, that need so much rulership. We just be free spirits, you know what I'm saying? Planet, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, gotta keep that in mind as well when it kind of understanding what's going on in the universe and the alignments and things of those natures. So we're all gonna be experiencing, this grand mutable square. So this grand mutable square is gonna be, energies that we're gonna be mainly focused on when it comes to what we need to be separated from, what we need to be adjusting, and what we need to be, a little bit more fluid with. Not being so stuck, not being so fixated, not being so new, not being so carnal, but knowing how to go with the flow, knowing how to apply these things and be shapeless and formless. You know what I'm saying? Not trapping your spirit into any of these shapes and forms down here. Being shapeless, formless, non-flammable, odorless, being like nothing. Nothing's of those natures. So the better that you know how to be like nothing, this illusion will kind of deteriorate from your vision, and you'll actually be able to see clear. You won't be getting lost into nothing down here. You won't be getting lost into your mental world, 4th, 5th, 6th dimension. You won't be getting distracted by anything in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. So you'll just be able to go back to the 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension and just be. You know what I'm saying? Just be. And then the more that you build awareness there, that's just you by default created a spaceship or a body that can withstand those astral travels. So that's what we all are doing. We all have the ability to meet, to hop into these worlds simultaneously. But we got to make sure that we're not getting so lost into things that do us for the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, because it's going to be a lot of frustration, a lot of changes that's going to be going on that may be throwing us off course, that may make us feel like we're confused, that may make us feel like we're making the wrong decisions, like all types of weird things and obstacles that we're going to be going through. But we kind of got to understand that we're not these things. We can't let those things beat us up. We can't let those things put us in a space where we start to be more insecure about our capabilities and our incapabilities. Because, your job, what's going on with the government, inflation, some recession, you know what I'm saying? All those things, can't let those things like get the best of us. Because it's all just an illusion at the end of the day. Real shit. It's all or nothing. We got to be the spirits to make it something like nothing. And the better and better that we're able to understand that energy, the better and better that we're able to understand that we're the creators, not the creation, not getting lost into these shapes and forms in the creation when it comes to the government trying to play with individuals online, give people mental illnesses online, you know what I'm saying? Stalk people online and things of those natures, you know what I'm saying? It's all weird. It's like pointless at the end of the day. Like, you're just wasting your time. You're just a human in search for some form of validation or something, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't got nothing to do with the all possibilities, God, in the universe. It ain't got nothing to do. Whatever you don't convince yourself in your mind that you need to do every day to watch people be racist online, just be racist in general. Like, they got something to do with God, you can get the fuck away, you know what I'm saying? God will sit your ass down real quick, you know what I'm saying? You can be in this hell forever, you know what I'm saying? However long, until you come correct. So we all gotta understand this. It's like, when it comes to Jupiter being in Gemini, it's making all of us take like several esoteric seats and kind of be a little bit more intellectual, a little bit, having a little bit more sophistication when it comes to the way that we've been going about our experiences, but still making sure that we're not, convincing ourselves that we don't need to experience while still, having discernment. So we won't be seen as, foolish or unwise when it comes to our experiences, because Jupiter is debilitating. It's falling. So we may feel like we need a little bit more information. We may feel like we need a little bit more intellect. So that's just going to lead us going down paths and trains of thoughts and lies, reasons, or getting online, being Google scholars, instead of actually going outside and learning these things for ourselves, building that muscle, creating that awareness. So we can be the ones that knows how to fashion and form a language. We create our own language. We won't need their language as much. We create our own business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. We won't need their business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics as much. And the better that we be able to group up and become a community. That's that, we got a whole nation ourselves. We created a whole nation, and we did this. We didn't need the Europeans or the Germans to come colonize. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta keep in mind, like, this is tricky ass, this is a weird ass world. So the way to win any battle, you don't have to pick up no weapon, you don't have to pick up no gun. You just need this intellect. So that's your power. Even if you, the more smarter, the more aware you get, the more intellect that you have, you kind of understand, like, man, fuck all this shit, fuck this body. How many times y'all gonna keep doing the things that y'all be doing? That's gonna be blood in y'all hands at the end of the day. Even if they try to hire a Jesuit to come kill you, whatever it is, you're like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, that's why I came here to do. I came here to die. Cause this all that this is. This is death. This is death. What we're experiencing, this is death. So you gotta keep that in mind as well. So you won't be so scared to go through these transformations and these transitions. And you can end up connecting to so many people that you end up trapping yourself. You end up trapping your own spirit into this covenant, into this world, to this hell. Due to the mental connections, the connections of reprobates that you've been making and things of those natures. People don't know how to let go. So that's one thing about humans. Y'all don't know how to let go. Y'all still dealing with y'all urges. Y'all still dealing with y'all beastly natures. Y'all still dealing with y'all animalistic natures and y'all emotions and y'all feelings. Y'all don't know how to be. So the better that you kind of understand those energies is know how to be, know how to die, know how to go through death, put this body to sleep, put this world to sleep, so you can wake up there. That's you taking the next step, becoming the atmosphere, becoming an angel, and things of those natures. But that's a whole different video. That's a whole different live. But yeah, I think that's everything I was going to talk about when it comes to, like, square, mutable square, Jupiter, Gemini, politics. You're going to see a lot of things going on with politics and things of those natures. That's going to be getting played out. They're going to try to be dumping more of their shit on us, try to put us in some form of scarcity. You know what I'm saying? But, we just got to stick together. They got to pack up, know what trustworthy individuals you need to be trusting, who you need to be watching online, who you need to be supporting. Make sure that you're supporting the right people, make sure that you're watching the right people, and just don't get lost in today's bullshit, because they're going to be trying to utilize online to make people scared, to motivate people to get offline. You know what I'm saying? They play with their numbers, give them likes, give them views. At the end of the day, you can't give a fuck about none of these likes and none of these views. As long as you just being yourself and expressing yourself, and just being able to feel comfortable with being yourself and free with being yourself, whether if you're being watched or not, man, they're gonna do what they want to do. They gonna dig their own hole. But you gotta know your purpose. You gotta know what God put you here to do. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how things may look right now, because eventually, the brighter that you shine, they ain't gonna have no choice but to turn the other cheek, because they're gonna be seeing, like, damn, I'm trying to throw all these rocks and hide my hand, but that's not hitting. I'm not hitting them. I'm not getting them. I'm not bringing them. I'm stopping them. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do bitch get with the program? You know what I'm saying? Gotta bitches get with the program. Shit. Hey, that's on you. If you don't want to get with the program, you can be a reprobate spirit. You can be a demon all you want. That's on you. So you gotta kind of understand what's going on. Literally. But yeah, those are gonna be all the energies that we're gonna be experiencing. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It's been Who Like 360.